warm welcome to the debut of the Future Brands of India. On the episode today, I have a very special guest. He leads one of India's most popular brands. It's a brand that's uniquely Indian because of its vision, the superpower, the strategy, and also very human. A warm welcome to Sanjeev Rao, the CEO of Being Human. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you so much for calling me. Yeah.
It's an absolute pleasure, and we're also very delighted to have you at our Great Indian Retail Summit. Mark your calendars. That's going to be on the 14th and the 15th of February this year. And so what can we look forward to from Being Human at the summit?
You know, we have always been right out there in the forefront, trying to propagate, the purpose behind the brand. And yes, this time also we will be talking about it. And other than that, you can look forward to a fabulous fashion show where we are going to put up all our merchandise, purpose-driven merchandise that we talk about.
I think that's going to be a banner fashion show because we all remember that iconic one with Salman Khan, Preeti Zinta, Rani Mukherjee. It was, absolutely one for the ages. So this one, you're telling me, is going to have all the top models in attendance.
Well, yes, all the top models from Mumbai. And definitely I'm also looking forward to it because seeing your clothes in a hanger and seeing them live on people is two different things. So yes, that's the big one which is happening.
I would also love to get your insights on your outlook for retail in terms of technology and the kind of advancements that are happening in the space currently.
You know, I have a very simple way to look at it, is that you cannot avoid technology. Tech was there and will be there to stay. However, the brick and mortar and the touch and feel will not go away. It'll definitely be there. Tech enablement is extremely important for any business today to reach out because the very medium through which we actually, discover brands has completely changed. When have you seen a hoarding and gone to a store? When have you, but most of the time when your discovery is happening on the phone. That's where you see brands, that's where you see advertisements, that's where you get the little pings for you to...
That's where you get influenced.
That's where you get influenced, absolutely. So technology discovery of brands has changed and therefore tech enabling of the system is definitely there. And I can go on talking about it because whether it's supply chain, whether it's merchandising, whether it's logistics, whether it is, marketing, everything is getting tech enabled now. And we are adopting as much as possible to ensure that we target and we speak to our consumers through the medium that they want us to speak. And internally, as efficient as possible, keeping the consumer at the center of it and what the consumer needs. It's all based on the consumer's needs, yeah.
Well, absolutely. Tech is something that can have the transformative power and an impact, unlike, very few things have had on most industries now. And via this series, what we hope to explore is the triumphs, the challenges, and also the transformative power of technology for D2C brands such as yours. Now, Being Human has become one of the most recognized brands in the country. But from its journey, its inception, tell us, how did you manage to make it possible as a brand?
The way that the brand has grown, obviously the brand has always been there in people's mind. What we have done is to make it more relevant. We always believe that when a brand or any business has a purpose, it drives the message stronger. Not that we are to drive the business, we are driving the purpose. We any which ways are known to drive different charitable purposes. But the brand, Being Human, not only drives the purpose, but is also driving fast fashion, is also driving good quality, good pricing, all of that. So the way that the business has transformed is that we are trying to be a socially conscious brand. We work out of, as I always say, we work out of two circles. One is the conscious circle and one is the business circle, and we dovetail both the circles. The conscious circle has many elements to it. It has sustainability, it has upcycle, recycle, circular ESG, all of that. This is just a small effort that we are doing as a brand. This effort will keep moving up as we see the years going by. But we are trying to do our bit, and whether that's in India or whether that's in Canada or whether that's in Dubai or Bangladesh, wherever that we are putting up our stores, our conscious way of doing business remains. Every store of ours has specially abled people employed. We work a lot with fair trade now, where we pick up cotton right from the farmers so that they get a good price for it. We do a lot of recycled cotton into our cotton clothing. We are using PET bottles. We are using plastic in our denim so that it doesn't go into landfill. And we're doing a bit. So that's how the journey is evolving. Very exciting journey. I do not know if I should say that it's a little ahead of its time, but I think it's the requirement of the time right now.
You very casually said, you're there in Dubai, you're there in Canada, Bangladesh. You're just coming up all across the world. When does this international transformation happen?
You know what? If you would have asked me this question 20 years back, I would have said, let's saturate India first and then we'll look outside. But now everything has become seamless. I mean, sitting here, you can get a ticket booked in US. Sitting here, you can get something drop shipped in Europe. The boundaries are no longer there. And therefore, we thought that, for us, why keep this brand only limited to India? We are extremely proud to be an Indian brand made for the global market. And that is the reason why we said that, today when we go to a shopping mall, we get very excited looking at all the international brands which come into India to retail to us. It's a good sign. It's a sign of India growing, the India story, all of that. But we said, why don't we go down to the international malls across the world and then say, hey, here is an Indian brand competing directly with all the international brands out there. And that's how the whole thing happened. And with our purpose with which we drive the business is very well accepted, not only in India, but abroad as well.
Well, it must be a lot of love from the Indian diaspora that's enabling you to take over the world in this manner. But when you find your target audience, do you find that they're millennials and you have to grow with them, or are you acquiring new Gen Z customers?
See, we predominantly work with Gen Z and millennial. And if you know that the population today, the world population as well as the India population, is a majority of Gen Z and millennial. So we believe that, as we keep moving forward, this population is only going to add on and grow, and that is the positioning, because today Gen Z is not the Gen Z that we used to be. Today's Gen Z and millennial is way better informed, way better connected, way better responsible, if I may say, towards all these aspects of consciousness.
Very invested, and they're willing to pay that premium as well to acquire a sustainable product. Now, you being a socially conscious brand, do you find the need, or do you find the responsibility to be a leader when it comes to sustainability?
I would not take that position, because we normally don't want to be a leader in whatever we do. It comes naturally to us. And I told you, if out of 100 things we are doing 10, that 10 would become 20 and the 20 would become 30. But we are not typically in that space where we would like to say that, in like next 10 years, we would like to lead sustainability in fashion for the whole world. No. We are saying that we are doing what we can as a brand, and we hope and pray that all brands start moving in that direction. A lot of them are, a lot of them are not. But the fact is, if all of us look towards this, then we are looking for a way, way better future for our children,
Absolutely. Now, what role does technology play in sustainability?
If you ask me, technology does play. What sells, what does not sell, how is my entire backward integration happening? All of this is tech enabled. So just to tell you, when we put out a sustainable product into our stores, we technically track it through tech. We basically look at what let's say, for example, if you are a consumer, then we would track what are you using. We would push, those products to you. Once you buy it, then we push variations of that product to you. And that's how we use tech in our system. And that's just one part of it. Of course, tech is there across the organization. But answering your question, yes.
Okay, so harnessing the power of MarTech. But even previously you told us about how tech is omnipresent in all departments, from your supply chain to the right down to the CX experience to managing your inventory, right? Being such a prolific individual such as yourself with 30 years of experience in the industry, what is the sort of impact that you have seen technology have? I would like to know both the pros and the cons.
When I started retailing, there was hardly any tech other than the billing system that was there. Then came the customer loyalty program, and then it went on from there as normal, vanilla retail brands operate. But today, tech has actually completely ensured, and post-COVID specifically, tech has ensured that, people, because you can only implement tech when you have a consumer demand for it. You have consumption for it. So today, whether I'm talking about, AI, or whether I'm talking about, any of the tech, verticals that we work with, in every part of retail today, there is some or the other tech platform that is working. Just to give you an example, we look at something that we call SVOC, single voice of the customer. Now we track, you are the same consumer who basically consumes online. You're the same consumer who goes to my store. You're the same consumer who comes to me during a sale. You're the same consumer who basically goes to a multi-branded outlet to buy. Or maybe you're the same consumer who goes to Canada or to Dubai and then you buy there. We now, instead of going mass, we have now started segregating people into buckets, and within those buckets, we have started tracking you, your consumption, your pattern, how often do you change your denim. This is just one part of it. If you look at tech, there is, we are investing into our billing systems. We are slowly moving away from the traditional billing systems and saving space in the store to more handheld devices. We have a software which tracks every SKU throughout the system, and it's a predictive tool which kind of pushes the product automatically to stores which are selling it and pulls it out of stores that are not selling it. And this is a completely automated process. Having said that, our marketing, whether we are looking at our customer, our CRM basically, is completely tech-enabled. And we are working with some of the best brands that India has to offer in terms of tech enablement. I don't know what the future is, but yes, we are also looking at our virtual store. We are looking at a whole lot of tech-driven initiatives going forward.
So what was the kind of pandemic boost that you saw e-commerce get when it came to your brand? And also your brand, what do you think makes it unique in terms of its omni-channel presence? Because a lot of people, I presume, come there for the store experience as well.
Well, yes, we are an omni-channel retailer. You can walk into our store, order something, we'll deliver it to your house, or you order something online, want to pick it up from our store. Or you order online and, we serve it to you directly, we ship it out to you. But, the boom that we have actually seen in the last 2 years has been in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities and towns. Technically, our stores in Tier 2 and Tier 3 are not as large as our metro or mini metro stores. So what we do is we work on something which is called endless aisle. So if you need something which is not available, we kind of get it for you and reach it out to you.
Okay.
You'll be surprised to know that, in Tier 2 and Tier 3, the quotient of fashion is as good as a Mumbai or a Delhi or anywhere else. Now, the reason for this is because they also have smartphone, they also have Instagram, they also use Facebook, they also use a whole lot of other tools, and they are more hungry. So therefore, you will see a lot of brands now moving towards Tier 2, Tier 3. I have worked till Tier 6. I have gone till population of 30,000 people in a small town and opened stores there. Not for being human, but for other brands. So when I see this entire journey moving up, when people say that it's the India story, I truly believe it's the India story now for the next at least a decade to come. Because the way that tier 2, tier 3 is getting up, waking up to technology, to fashion, to all of that, that is where. So I always say it's not about India, it's all about Bharat. And Bharat is where the entire tech play, the fashion play, the consumption play is happening.
So India and Bharat, they're both busy shopping, is what I've deduced.
I would rather say Bharat is shopping. India is still a little bit window shopping.
Oh.
Little bit window shopping.
Okay. Is that a problem of choice? Like there are too many options for India?
Yes and no. India definitely has choice. You'll not find a very large international brand wanting to open a tier 4. So aspiration in tier 4 is very high. People normally travel, but if you open a store in their town, they're very happy about it. There is a town called Belgaum in Maharashtra, border of Maharashtra and Karnataka. I was really surprised when I went there. The kind of brands that have opened up in Belgaum is unbelievable. It'll not be long before international brands starts opening up because the consumption is high. So that way, yes, India is definitely growing, but more than that, Bharat is growing.
They also say influencer marketing is the biggest trend, and it has been, for the last few years. Now you have the Khan family, who are the biggest influencers, right? So what kind of, magnetism that do they bring to this brand?
Well, definitely the family is there. The family always, stands right there in front of the brand to ensure that the brand is successful. However, the point that I would like to bring here is we work with more than 100 plus influencers across India.
Okay.
We have gone to the level where, you have a small town in Bihar, or you have a small town in UP, or you have a small town in West Bengal. That small town has the person who is the influencer there. Now, we even have that influencer in our bucket, and that influencer talks about it. So, yes, influencer-led buying is there. However, I personally feel that how much of an influencer you can use, your product quality, your pricing, and your consumer experience is something that nothing can beat. So these are hygiene. So consumer experience, pricing, product, quality, this is hygiene. Post that, you can do whatever you want to do. Yeah.
What is one trend in retail that you have seen over the last few years that has personally surprised you?
What has personally surprised me is, consumers have started moving towards something which is, I will not call it discounting, but they have started moving towards more value for money.
Okay.
So it is something like, if you go and buy a international or a imported car, or something which is not Indian, but maybe a Mercedes, a BMW, whatever vehicle that Audi, whatever vehicle that you're buying, Indians have this innate thing about bargaining. What do I get free? What is the value in this? So the same thing is happening in fashion, where I see a trend where consumers are becoming way more, they are becoming aspirational, but at the same time, they are wanting value.
There's more discount sensitive than price sensitive, you feel?
But at the same time, they do not want compromise with quality. Yeah. They do not want any compromise with styling. But yes, there is that very distinct shift which we are seeing in terms of people moving towards more value. And value can also be in a garment which costs 20,000 rupees and a garment which costs 200 rupees. So everybody is seeking value across the chain.
So you mean they want the quality but at the best price possible.
Absolutely.
So you think it's this whole craze of those discount codes and, that's permeated the market now?
Well, yes, to a large extent,
they're spoiled for choice.
They are spoiled for choice, and therefore it's extremely important what are you driving them with. So today, when I started retail, loyalty was considered to be amazing. We used to treat our loyal customers as gods. But today, this is my view, and I'm saying this from my point of view, that today I do not think there's anything called loyalty. loyalty is only when the consumer feels connected to your brand. That's about it. You are there as long as you're relevant. The moment you're not relevant, you're not there. So that's what consumers have become today. You know, if what you're offering is something that they connect with, then they are loyal to you. But the next season, when you launch something which is not relevant, they don't come back to you.
But being human, by virtue of it being star-led, so many of its consumers are Salman fans. Do they, in that manner, end up being star advocates for your brand as well? Does that fandom spill over?
Well, they do. I would not say no to that. They definitely do. There is definitely a strong pitch on that side. But, you know, the best part is that at the end of the day, if you're not delivering what they need. They might do it once, they might do it twice. But the third time, fourth time, fifth time, and the nth time will not happen until and unless you're giving them something that is relevant to them.
That's a great point, you know. Yeah. So, it's only going to take you so far, but then your product has to speak
absolutely.
For itself. Maybe a foot in the door or the customer into the absolutely. Store. But yeah, then your product...
being relevant is extremely important.
Being
with a
relevant,
purpose, of course.
Being human, being tech savvy, all of it at this point. You know, now that you are foraying into the global market and you have the sort of insights that you do from the Indian market, in what manner do you find Indian brands to have perhaps an advantage over the global brands at this point?
I do not think there is any difference between what we produce in India as fashion to what is being produced internationally. I think it's all got overlapped between a whole lot of brands in India and brands who are selling in India, international brands who are selling in India. When it comes to being human, the style quotient that I have seen when we launch stores abroad were very, very similar to the style quotient that is being sold by international retailers. The advantage that we have being an Indian retailer is the fact that, you know, today we are very close to the Asian diaspora. So when we launched, let's say, Canada, we had the entire Asian diaspora coming and shopping with us. When we opened Bangladesh, there was literally about 2 kilometers of a line of people waiting to buy. You know, we are looking forward to many such locations across the globe to open. We are not saying that we are only selling to Asian diaspora. If you go to the Canada store, you'll find Canadians walking in. They love the purpose that we talk about as being human, that I just told you, the upcycle, recycle, circular ESG, the sustainability, all of that. So answering your question, I don't think there's much of a difference in the style quotient or the fashion quotient between international retailers. I mean, I'm saying apple to apple. If I compare a like-to-like retailer who's selling there while we are being there in the mall, I don't find a difference there. No.
Well, thank you so much for all your candid inputs, Sanjeev. As your closing remark, would you like to tell our audiences something about your journey to conclude this?
Well, I think, you know, a purpose, not only for your own life, but for the brand that you lead is extremely important. And that purpose can be anything. I mean, I'm not saying the purpose has to be something in the realm of being conscious or sustainable. But having a purpose is extremely important. The world is changing at a very, very fast pace, and so is India. I think it's time that we take the India story global.
Right.
It's high time. I think we have been waiting and looking forward to a lot of international brands, and all kudos to them. You know, they are fantastic brands, but I think we Indians have brands which are fantastic too. And we are seeing those early signs when we are launching stores abroad. I think this is a call out to all Indian brands who are here for a long time, that let's now shake and move the world.
Well, I'm absolutely looking forward to Indian brands taking over the world and Brand India taking over the world as well. So thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate the fact that you could join us for this conversation. And for more such captivating stories, do stay tuned to the Future Brands of India, where we bring to you the confluence of D2C brands and India. Thank you so much.